Hello, hi, welcome to all of you. Today we will discuss chapter 1 of ethics paper, that is ethics and human interface. Last lecture I have already explained the whole syllabus, all the 7 chapters in brief and to the point. Today we will discuss the topics of chapter 1. First is definition of ethics. I have given you 2 definitions of ethics. First definition, I will read it out. It is the branch of knowledge that deals with the moral principles. So based on that knowledge, we can study human actions from the point of view of rightfulness or wrongfulness as a means for attainment of ultimate happiness for an individual and good for all. Second definition is ethics has been defined as a set of values and principles which help us guide our actions, behaviors, and choices. A, B, C. The diagram here I am showing you is a very important diagram. In the last lecture, I have already told you ethics is not a subject in silos. Ethics influences all other domains of our UPSC syllabus, and at the same time it is also influenced by all the other factors. As you all see, first it is the administration. I am already administrator and you all are aspirants, are aspiring to be in future administrators of this country. So first circle is administration. Second circle is politics. Third is economy. Fourth is society. All these are the syllabus of your UPSC paper. And ultimate circle is ethics. Ethics influences all the other circle and also influenced by all the other circles. For example, administration is influenced by politics and administration also influences politics. Similarly, administration and politics influence economy and also influenced by economy. Similarly, society influences politics and administration and also influenced by politics and administration. Everything is dependent on one and another. That's why while preparing for your examination, while you are preparing for ethics paper, you should understand all the other papers. You should try to bring examples from all the other papers. Then you will get the highest number of marks in ethics. It is very, very easy. Even while studying your current affairs, while studying your newspaper also, you have to correlate every newspaper heading to ethics. Whatever the things that are happening in society, whatever the things that are happening in economy or business page, or whatever the things happening in the political page, or whatever the things that is happening in the administration, everything can be linked to ethics. First topic is essence of ethics in human actions. What is the essence of ethics? What is the essence? The first point is ethics teaches us what is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong. For example, the scriptures, the religious scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, Buddhism, they tell us what is good. For example, Bhagavad Gita's Nishkam Karma, Buddhism path of righteousness. They are talking about dharma, doing your duty. Do your duty. Nishkam Karma talks that do your duty, don't expect anything in return. Our Karma Siddhant talks about do your karma, do good karma, and it will give you good. If you do bad karma, it will give you bad results. Buddhism Dharma, Buddhism's path of righteousness, that is Dharma. If you are doing right duty, you will attain moksha. Moral conduct lead to a happy life and to attain moksha. Bible talks about kindness, helping the neighbors. Here I have given you certain angles which are very important for your answer writing in theory part as well as your case study part. First thing is personal benefit versus societal benefit. What is good? Ethics tells us that societal benefit is good. Second, short term versus long term. Ethics teaches us that your actions should focus on long term gains, not short term benefits. Third is means versus ends. Which is right? End result should be good or means should be good. There are various ethical theories. Various ethical theories talks about this topic in a from different angles. Fourth point is rights versus duties. What is right? Claiming rights is good or doing your duties is good? What is good? Various ethical theories talks about that. Similarly, laws, rules versus morals, values. Certain things are legally right, but not morally right. Certain things are morally right, but not legally right. What are those things? We will discuss. What is good? Ethics always talks about good. Maybe it may not be legally right, but it talks about morals, it talks about values, it talks about what is good. Cultivate conscience. Ethics cultivates conscience in our minds. Conscience is ability of the mind to decide voice of our inner self. It decides as what is right, what is wrong. Second point is socio-economic oriented. In the previous slide, I have already explained you how ethics influencing various other domains and also being influenced by those domains. So ethics is also influenced by socio-economic conditions of a society. Whether it is a capitalistic society or whether it is a socialist countries, based on whether it is a socialist country or whether the country believes in capitalist values, accordingly ethical principles also changes. Third is time factor. Ethics is also dependent on time. Ethical principles also changes with time. For example, slavery was once considered a normal in the society, but today slavery is banned across all the countries. Similarly, for example, if you take the Indian context, sati was the norm in our society in earlier days, but today sati is banned. Fourth one is supported by LIP framework. LIP means legal, institutional and policy framework. Ethics is good. So ethics is always backed by the existing laws, rules, institutions, policies of that country. Mostly. Next is political setup. Ethics is also dependent on the politics of that country, politics of that nation. Sixth point is ethics can be objective or subjective. For example, certain things like stealing, killing are universally wrong across all the societies, across all the countries. But certain things like capital punishment, war ethics, they all changes according to the situation, according to the country, according to the values or principles of the political party that is ruling the country. So these are the 6 points. These are the 6 points I have discussed here under the topic of essence of ethics in human actions. What is ethics? Yeah, what ethics teaches us and how ethics is influenced by other factors. I have tried to simplify all the things to make aspirants very easy. And I am explaining all the things to the point. So hope you guys like this. And I am also giving here the previous UPSC questions on this topic. See, there are so many questions. All the questions are interlinked. If you can write answer for one question properly, then you can write answer for all the questions. It is very, very easy. For example, you see the question of 2022. UPSC paper 2022. It is believed that adherence to ethics in human actions would ensure in smooth functioning of an organization or system. If so, what does ethics seek to promote in human life? I have already discussed this. Ultimately, why we are discussing about ethics? Why the topic ethics is important? Only because all our human beings want to have happy lives. We want to have very good life, very happy life. Anandamaya, Anand, happy, good for all, good for every society. As our religion also talks about Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Whole world is ours. Everybody should be happy. Good for all. Happiness for all. Well-being for all. So what does ethics seek to promote in human life? It seeks to promote happiness. Good for all. Well-being for all. How do ethical values assist in the resolution of the conflicts faced by him in his day-to-day functioning? So every day you are facing a certain dilemmas, ethical dilemmas. And how your ethical values and principles, how they will guide your actions, behaviors and choices. That is the question is asking. So what are those conflicts every day you are facing at your home, at your office, in the society? Everywhere there is a dilemma we are facing. You are going to an office and your superior asks you to do something which you may not like. Then how ethical principles will lead you or will guide you? Or if you are going to a municipality office and you are being demanded certain bribe to get certain things done, but you don't want to give bribe. So how you will handle that situation? That's what is being asked. All the questions UPSC asks are very basic questions. If you have a clear-cut conceptual clarity, clear-cut analysis of the society, economy, politics, you can attempt all the questions very easily. Second question, same 2022 paper asks you, ethics is knowing the difference between what you have the right to do and what is right to do. See, what is right to do? That is the path of righteousness, that is dharma. And what you have the right, because as a human being you have the free will. You can do anything, whatever the thing you want. You have the right to do whatever thing you want. But whatever the thing you are doing, whatever the duty you are doing, is it right? Are you following dharma? That's what it is asking. So what is right? I have already explained you what is right. If you are thinking about societal benefit over your personal benefit, it is right. If you are thinking about long-term benefits rather than short-term benefits, it is right. If you are doing your duty properly, honestly, it is right. Third question, the crisis of ethical values in modern time is traced to a narrow perception of the good life. Again, he is asking about the same question. What is the good life? What constitutes good life in modern days? It is talking about the narrow perception. What is that narrow perception? What is the so-called success in modern life? It is linked to success is proportionally linked to wealth you are creating, wealth you have created, how rich you are, what's your bank balance, what's your assets, but at what cost? But how you are earning those money? Nobody bothered. That is what being asked in this question. Fourth question, explain how ethics contribute to social and human well-being. Again, same question in 2016. How ethics is contributing to human well-being. Well-being, happiness, good for all. Social well-being, good for all. How ethics is contributing? Answer is very simple. As I already told you, ethics guides us to think about the societal benefit. To think about the long-term goals, long-term benefits rather than short-term pleasures or short-term benefits. And various ethical theories also teaches about certain things which we will discuss later. So you can accordingly frame your answers. Again in 2014, same question. All human beings aspire for happiness. Do you agree? Yes, all human beings aspire for happiness. Then what is happiness? What does happiness mean to you? Explain with answers. Same question, same thing, same concept is being explained, asked in a different way in different every year, different years. Same question being asked in a different way. Sixth question: what does ethics seek to promote in human life? Why is it all the more important in public administration? Seventh question: the current society is plagued with widespread trust deficit. What are the consequences of this situation for personal well-being and for societal well-being? What can you do at the personal level to make yourself trustworthy? Same question being asked in a different way. It is often said, eighth question, it is often said that politics and ethics don't go together. What is your opinion in this regard? Justify your answer with illustrations. I have already shown you the concentric circles. Ethics influences politics. At the same time, ethics is also influenced by politics. The famous political thinker, Plato, he talks about good politics. I will provide you the model answers for all the questions, but later. Now, for now, you can try answering these questions based on the knowledge I am providing you, based on the conceptual clarity I am providing you. You attempt the questions. Later, in the later lectures, I will give you model answers for all these questions. Next is determinants of ethics in human actions. What is the determinants? What is the definition of determinant? Determinant means it's a factor. It is a factor which is having a maximum impact. People usually say, what is the determinants of your success? So what are the factors that are contributing in a major way to your success? So all the things I have noted down are the determinants, all the factors contributing to ethics in human actions. That is family. As we born, our parents teach us what is good and what is bad. As we go to school, we take education. Our teachers teach us what is good and bad, what is right or wrong. Next, religion. Our religious scriptures. Hindu, whether it is a Hinduism or whether it is a Christianity or whether it is a Muslim or whether it is a Sikhism or whether it is a Buddhism, all the religious scriptures talks about what is good, what is right, what is wrong, what is bad. Next is our own constitution, our own legal institutional policy framework. Next is our society. Next, leaders, religious gurus, philosophers, thinkers. International or global events, like for example, recent COVID-19 pandemic. It has huge impact on our daily lives. It has changed the whole scenario. It has changed our viewpoint towards our lives, our viewpoints. Next, media. Next is consequences of ethics in human actions. According to the famous thinker Thomas Aquinas, only those human actions can be analyzed from ethical standpoint which satisfy three parameters. If any human action satisfies all these three parameters, then only we say from the ethical standpoint, from the ethical angle, we judge those actions whether it is right or whether it is wrong, whether it is good or bad. If it is not satisfying this criteria, we cannot judge those actions. What are those three parameters? Knowledge. Individual shall have full knowledge. For example, kids don't have any knowledge, so we can't judge their actions from ethical angle. Second is free will. Free will means you can have the ability to make choices. For example, maybe an animal, it doesn't have a free will because it doesn't have the ability to make choices. Third is action should be voluntary. It should not be under any pressure. It should not be under any threat. If any human actions satisfy all the three parameters, then we can judge those actions. And as you all know, the final consequence, why we are studying ethics, why we are setting the rules, why we are talking about values, why we are talking about the moral principles, why we are setting all those principles, only to lead happy lives. The final consequence should always be good, wellness, happy. But what is good? How is that action good? How we can decide? How we can discern what is good? The final consequence should be good. That we all know. But what is good? How any action is good? There the theories of ethics comes into play. The theories of ethics has been given an acronym, that is VCR. VCR means virtue, conduct, and rights based. Virtue, conduct, and rights based. Virtue ethics. Virtue ethics talks about virtues, qualities. The famous thinkers Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, they all talks about good man. Good man means he is having good qualities, good virtues. Next, conduct ethics. Conduct ethics are further divided into two parts. One is teleological consequentialism. Second is deontological duty-based ethics. One teleological, it talks about the end result, and deontological talks about the means. One is talking about the end, and second is talking about the means. Means means duty. And third is rights-based ethics. Rights mean if any of the human action is violating anybody's right, then we say that human action is bad. Because every human being has certain inalienable rights. So based on those rights, we will evaluate the individual's action. So under teleological ethics, we will discuss four. One is utilitarianism, egoism, hedonism, altruism. Teleological or consequentialism talks about the ends. Deontological or duty-based ethics talks about the means. Focus is on end result. First is utilitarianism. What is the end result of utilitarianism? Greatest happiness for the greatest number of people. Utilitarianism thinkers, utilitarianist theories, utilitarianism as a theory talks about greatest happiness for the greatest number of people. Example is killing terrorists is justified because it is for the greater good. Killing one or two terrorists is justified because justified. Otherwise, as an action, if you see, killing is wrong. But what is the end result? The end result is you are saving so many innocent lives. You are doing good for the society by killing one or two terrorists. So it is good. Similarly, if you are talking about the economic aspect, you are taxing the rich. Why you are taxing the rich? Rich are very few. You are taxing the rich. What is the end result? End result is you are funding the welfare schemes for the poor. Poor are ultimately being benefited, and poor are in the greatest number. So, according to utilitarianism, killing terrorists is justified. Accordingly, similarly, wealth tax is also justified. Second is egoism. What is egoism says? Egoism as a theory says that maximize your own self-interest. It says that every action is guided by self-interest. Whatever the action an individual is doing, he is thinking about the self-interest. Already we have talked about this. Personal interest versus societal interest. That is one angle we have talked. So, egoism talks about the personal interest. Self-interest. For example, philanthropy to gain fame. Egoism says that philanthropists are doing that work, work of philanthropy to helping others to gain fame and self-respect. To gain fame, respect, publicity, they are doing philanthropy. That's what egoism says. Egoism says that every human action is guided by self-interest. That is the end result. Utilitarianism says that the end result is societal benefit. Out of personal benefit versus societal benefit, utilitarianism says that societal benefit is important. Greatest happiness, greater happiness for greatest number of people is more important. But egoism says that all human actions are guided by self-interest, personal benefit. Third is hedonism. Hedonism talking about focus on maximizing individual happiness. Individual happiness. Whatever the things Every human being do certain actions only to maximize his happiness, not for anybody else. So hedonism promotes consumerism, having more things to have more happiness. So in that way, it is a boost to economy, it is a boost to capitalism. But what about the environment? For example, in the name of constructing roads, in the name of constructing very good quality wide highways, you are restricting the wildlife, you are restricting the forest. But hedonism doesn't care much about it. Next is altruism. This is complete opposite to hedonism. Altruism says that altruism focuses on maximum happiness to others while ignoring yours. For example, patriotism. In the name of patriotism, individual is giving his own life for his country. Similarly, a mother might want to die to give birth to her child or her child. Nishkam Karma of Bhagavad Gita also says that you do your duty without expecting anything in return. Rights-based ethics by John Rawls. By any action, whether rights of any individual are violated. On this parameter, we evaluate any action. This angle is very important to write answers in case studies also, which we will discuss later. These are the previous UPSC questions asked on these theories of ethics. First is, in the context of defense services, patriotism demands readiness to even lay down one's life in protecting the nation. According to you, what does patriotism imply in everyday civil life? Explain with illustrations and justify your answers. Second question is, with regard to the morality of action, one view is that means of paramount importance and the other view is that the ends justify the means. Which view do you think is more appropriate? Justify your answers. We have already discussed this under conduct ethics. One teleological or consequentialism says that end result is important. Ends justify the means. But deontological theory says that means is important. So what is right? What do you think important? Simple thing is that it is based on the situation. Based on the situation, in one situation, one theory suits, in another situation, another theory suits. And how do you justify your answers? By giving the examples from the current affairs. Current affairs example will always be good. Third is, analyze John Rawls' concept of social justice in the Indian context. That's it for this lecture. We will discuss all other topics in next lectures. Thank you all, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel.